Strap yourselves in, kiddie winkles, because it's story time with Uncle Sam. So this is how it goes. 7 years ago, I got an invitation to join Jim, my captain and partner at the Rock and Roll Lounge, to accompany him to a festival in Lancashire, wherever. A festival called Beat Herder. You may have heard of it, you may not have done. It is big in the size of, let's say, Leeds, Reading, that kind of thing. Not Glastonbury size, but what is. But it's a prestigious festival. Lots of really, really good bands play there. We were going to play at Factory. I said gonna, we did. We played the Factory stage. Excuse me, we did a few sets. But more importantly, to me, we find ourselves, I mean, Jim had been to Beat Herder and played Beat Herder a few times previous to me going with him. And we found ourselves in the Beat Herder and District Working Men's Club. Now, you might think to yourself, a working men's club and a festival? Yeah. It was a marquee. Sorry, my nose is really itchy this morning. It was a marquee. And you walk through the doors, and lo and behold, you are in a working men's club with real ale, hand-pulled ale, at non-stupid prices, friendly people, and some of the strangest acts you will ever see. Drag queens, bad magicians, the worst karaoke and talent contests you'll ever see. I was brought to tears at one point by a steel drum band playing live in a northern town, which were just absolutely glorious. Pub quizzes, everything you'd expect, bingo, everything you'd expect from a working man's club, you got in there. If you're not northern and you're not English, then you probably don't know what a working man's club is. I will give you a very, very brief synopsis. A working man's club was, back when I was starting to drink, I'm not sure how they operate now, but you had to be a member. You got a little membership card, you got a yearly card with the, you could sign people in, but it was like subsidised drinks, Let's say, I'm going back to when I was starting drinking in 1984 when I was 13, 14. Let's say you were paying 80 pence for a pint in a normal pub. You're probably paying about 60 pence in a working men's club. And as the prices went up, then obviously the prices in a working men's club went up, but they always stayed below your regular pub. But as I say, you had to be a member to get in. They were run by committees. If you Google or you go on YouTube and you look up the wheel tappers and shunters, then you will see what I'm talking about. The kind of things. Yeah, they would have turns on a weekend, on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday. They would have turns on. You could guarantee at some point over the week there'd be a bloke or a woman on stage singing Penny Arcade. We used to take bets and run a book on how far into the act they'd sing it. But Phoenix Nights, if you think of Phoenix Nights, Peter Kay theme, that is exactly it. That, a lot of people might think that that's exaggerated, but it absolutely nails a Northern Working Men's Club. But I digress. So yeah, Jim took me in there because he said, you'll love it, and love it I did. It's not every day you see somebody dressed up like Cristiano Ronaldo and Ronald Reagan stood next to each other with masks on. Yeah, it's not every day you see somebody dressed up like a bunch of grapes, but we did. I was haunted by the vision of Prince, which is a tale for another day. Got any Prince? But yeah, this is the Working Men's Club, Beaton and District Working Men's Club, and it's a glorious, glorious place to be. It's a glorious place to spend time. And I decided there and then, I'm going to compare this place one day. And Jim were like, you absolutely are. It's your destiny. You are perfectly suited for it. I would go out and get myself the naffest velour / velvet suit I possibly could, and I'd be more northern than I've ever been, and I would be in my absolute element. So as I said, this was 2019. We came home and I emailed them just basically saying, look, I had such a good time. I appreciate you've probably got people on your books that you do it regularly. You know, you go to people every year sort of thing. Oh, heck. What happened then? Oh, God, why? Why have you done that to me? There we go. But should you need somebody as sort of like a substitute if they're going to the toilet, going for a little lunch, going blah, 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 please, 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 I would love to do it. As I said, that was 2019. Obviously, we all know what happened in 2020. The festival didn't go ahead, blah, blah, blah. I've never been back. Now, fast forward to yesterday. And I'm sitting here minding my own business. And I get this email. Basically, the compare is unavailable this year. And they remembered that I'd been in touch with him. And could I consider it? Oh, man. Genuinely heartbroken. There is nothing more in this world that I would love to do than be the compare in that marquee. Nothing. I mean, I've played some gigs. I've DJ'd at events and rallies as in scooter rallies. I've done political rallies. I've done political events, band events, album launches, you name it. I've stood on stage alongside some of my musical heroes, a lot of whom have gone on to be friends and people that I can call friends. So yeah, there's nothing I would love more than to do it. But it's in 3 weeks' time, and I am not physically capable of spending a weekend doing that. I'm not mentally capable of doing a full weekend of that. So I had to get in touch with Lisa and politely turn her down, as you can see here. Which, I did say, you know, please consider me for the future. And touch wood, hopefully she will. Not only hopefully she will, but this has really sparked me into getting myself. I'm never going to be right. I know I'm never going to be right, but I can make myself in better shape to be able to cope with things like that. And I am so fucking determined now to do so. So yeah, that's where we are. I put it on Twitter yesterday that I've just been made an offer I can't refuse, where I've had to turn it down. Our Finley got in touch with me and were like, what is it? What's up? What's the problem? What, you know, he was so, you know, I told him, obviously I told him, you know, I got in touch with Jim, as soon as I got email, I got in touch with Jim, just basically like, you know, why now? Why couldn't they have done it 2 years ago? Why? When I was fit and healthy enough to do it, why are they going to ask me now? And he was like, oh, he's as gutted as I am, to be honest with you. So yeah, there we go. Anybody that was reading Twitter yesterday and saw it and thought, what's this cryptic message about? That's what it is. So yeah, that's your Jackanory for the day, folks. Enjoy. So remember I told you I'm selling Lola, she's going to my brother-in-law. So I can partly fund some new computer equipment. I might be having to put that on hold. But I showed this to Vicky yesterday, and I think her exact words were, no, in fact, hell no, or something like that. So that won't be happening. It looks like Mr. Apple is going to be getting some money off me anyway. What am I going to do with it? What would I do with it? I would be interested. I am actually going to watch the auction because I am quite interested to see just how much it brings. So yeah, I know he had a white, it was either an Li or an SX, just a plain white one that he sold once, and that went for ridiculous money. You know, I'm not being funny, but you could stand it to another, next to another. I mean, this one, fine, it's his Stanley Road one. You could stand his white one next to any white Li or SX, and unless you stood there holding V5 that says previous owner, who's going to know? But I digress. So no, I'm not having that. Went for a trundle on the benefit buggy with Vicky and Wumps yesterday. Usual route up and down past Oakwell. Got to see the lions that are down there, which are nice. Then we come home and we had a Chinese. I had my usual, which is char siu, fried rice and curry sauce. I am a man of simple taste, people. Yeah, and then we watched football and went to bed. So, yeah. Vicky thought she was going to have, she got an hospital appointment and she thought she got her hair appointment after, and she hadn't. That's on Saturday. So I'm thinking, if she's going to walk into town, I might charge the buggy up again and have a trundle in with her, nip to Vinyl Underground, maybe spend a little bit of my money on a new piece of black plastic while she's on her haircut, and then meet her and have a coffee and trundle back home. So, yeah. But I don't know. I think that's it for today, folks. I reckon. Can't think of what else. I've just found original CSIs on Paramount. So that is my go-to at the moment now. I'm going to cram as many of them as I can. Yeah. Anywho, it's Friday, it's the 3rd of July. My sister's 59 tomorrow. TTFN. So, excuse me.